Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Welcome to Business 360 this lovely Tuesday morning, reaching you from the beautiful hills of Ibiako, Oran. Many thanks for joining me. I am Edidion Martin. We'll be looking at the Bahamas police arresting Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the Cut of Bahamas, today. The police said Mr. Bankman-Fried was arrested for financial offenses against laws in the U.S. and the Bahamas. Last week's proceedings, although many experts have warned that it may be a very small fraction of what they had deposited. Well, moving away from the Bankman-Fried situation, South Korea says crypto fugitive Do No is actually in Siberia. South Korean authorities say they believe Do No lunar tokens is hiding in Siberia. The Seoul Southern District Prosecutor Office said it will work with Cyber to detain him. Mr. No, who is 31-year-old of age, was charged with fraud and breaches of capital market laws after the token imploded in May. In December, Interpol traveled via Dubai to an unknown country after leaving Singapore, where his company headquarters was. Now, at this point, I would say my heart goes out to cryptocurrency investors, as a lot of back and forth been going down. The cryptocurrency market we keep seeing has not been really fair, and their founders are trying to reload. Has revealed that airlines will pay $222 billion extra for fuel this year. The IATA's Regional Vice President for Africa and the Middle East, Kamil Alawadi, in his address to the 2022 General Assembly of the African Airlines Association, taking place in Dakar, Senegal, said although oil prices have retreated from mid-year peaks, the average price of jet fuel so far this year has been $138.8 a barrel. According to the IATA boss, this means airlines would collectively, adding that fuel accounts for 30% of airlines' costs. However, he warned that African accidents across Africa. Coming back to Nigeria, Canadian government and a firm have invested $10 million to empower Bauchi farmers. Over 16,000 farmers have been empowered by the $10 million Canadian government-funded livelihood and nutritional employment project implemented by Oxfam in Bauchi State. The project initially targeted 10,000 smallholder farmers, but a total of 16,598 small reviewed during an event held in Abuja yesterday to close the project. And as I would always say on the show, congratulations to every single one of these beneficiaries. Away from the small stories in business, let's see what's going on in the global economy, starting with UK's economy contracting by 0.3% during the 3 months of August into recession. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has said the UK economy will get worse before it even gets better. But this is after figures revealed that the economy shrank further in 3 months. He said, and I quote, "These figures confirm that this is a very challenging economic situation everywhere across the world." Well,
situation here and across the world, and it will get worse before it gets better. But we have a plan that will more than halve inflation over the next year, and if we stay the course, we can get back to the strong economic growth that we need. Well, these figures confirm that this is a very challenging economic situation here and across the world, and it will get worse before it gets better. But we have a plan that will... Well, these figures confirm that this is a very challenging economic situation here and across the world, and
I'm sure Jeremy Hunt is just reflecting our thoughts from the beginning of the year. We have seen that a lot of global economy, not just that of UK, have been contracting. So it's not just Jeremy Hunt speaking. News abound as well as bad news. For every headline declining the rate hikes, the high house price pressures and the massive layoffs, there's also counterbalancing chair for durable goods prices. There are also rent duration sentiments follow. Let me allow you answer this question. Let's have a presentation by the CME crew.
Year. The Russia-Ukraine war grinds on. Short-term rates exceeding long-term yields has been a reliable indicator of the potential for future economic challenges, and it's not been this inverted in 4 decades. Federal Reserve is aggressively raising short-term rates. Mortgage rates have surged. House prices are weakening. Announcements of layoffs gain economic traction after a tough year. The Russia-Ukraine war grinds on, and Europe faces its own possibility of recession. But it's not all gloom and doom. Some sectors are losing jobs, others are adding jobs, and the unemployment rate remains below 4%. Various inflation indicators, such as commodity prices and gasoline, are much to rise on sentiment.
That's Bill Putnam of the CME Group's opinion. Let's see what's going on in the commodity market, starting with oil. Ural's oil price actually continues to fall. Urals and soy oil from the Urals and Volga regions. Now, Russian Urals crude oil fell below $55 a barrel in mid-December, a new low since January 2021, trading at a discount of about $20 to the international Brent crude oil benchmark. Rising freight costs for tankers carrying Russian oil pushed down prices, with many shippers refraining from handling Russian oil as the price cap and EU ban on Russian oil imports went into effect on December 5th. G7 countries, the EU and Australia agreed on a $60 a barrel price cap for Russian seaborne oil, which bans maritime transportation services for Russian crude oil unless it is sold at or above $60 per barrel. Currently handling the short Russian Far East Asia route with Russian tankers and insurance, according to reports. Ural's oil price remains nearly half of $111 touched in early March when the war in Ukraine started. Let's not just take my word for it. Let's see a chart representing Ural's oil price this year, especially since the war in Ukraine started. Now, here is the chart representing, but with the invasion in Ukraine, with the EU sanctions and all other situations, right now the oil is selling at below $50 per barrel. That's the situation with the Russian oil right now. And we all know, we've already talked about it on the show, that these sanctions are coming in from the EU to try to stifle Russia's income, Russia's ability to sell oil and have more money to finance their war. Away from the Ural oil, let's see what's going on in the energy markets this morning, talking about the WTI, it was at $72 per barrel, but as of this morning, we see it appreciating at 1.30%. Also, Brent crude, which is Nigeria's price benchmark, also going for $79 per barrel. We see the energy market doing better this morning as against what it was yesterday. UK gas is the only commodity in the energy markets depreciating at 0.48%. As against yesterday, the energy market is doing quite well this morning. Yesterday, we saw a lot of depreciations in the energy market, but as at this morning, we can see a lot of appreciations in the market. Although gas, just like yesterday, is fluctuating, gas is depreciating more, but we do know very well that it's a market. So metal market is faring this morning, especially gold, knowing very well that gold is one commodity that sells faster during the war. Gold is going this morning at $1,784.373 $1.677 per barrel. Well, it's a market, so it's fluctuating, and that is an appreciation of 3.6 basis points. As at this morning, we also see other commodities appreciating in the market. The only commodity that's really not stable is platinum, but we see that not just in the energy market, but also in the metal market this morning. We just hope that the good news extends into the agricultural market, looking at what's going on with the wheat, looking at what's going on with soybeans. We hope that soybeans, as we can see, is exchanging at $1,464 a bushel this morning. That's an appreciation of 7 basis points. May not be much, but it is significant all the same. Also, wheat is appreciating at $741.29 per bushel this morning. The only commodities, a couple of commodities depreciating: coffee, orange juice, and cheese. Okay, lumber as well depreciating this morning, but we see just like other markets, just like as a market should be, agricultural market is not really appreciating, it's not depreciating, it's just in between. Many thanks for staying tuned on the program. We're looking at the foreign exchange markets right here, starting from Africa. South African's rand is at a one-week low. The South African rand traded around 17.6 against the US dollar. This is the lowest since December 1st, mainly pressured by domestic political uncertainty. South African lawyers will decide today whether to institute impeachment proceedings against President Cyril Ramaphosa over his involvement in the Farmgate scandal, while the ANC ruling party elective conference is set to begin this week. Meanwhile, South Africa's economy swung back to growth in the third quarter, dodging a technical recession, although the expansion was mostly driven by the agricultural sector. On the monetary policy front, the South African Reserve Bank lifted the repo rate by another 75 basis points in November, marking the 6th consecutive hike this year. We are seeing what's going on with South Africa. As yesterday we saw the Ghana cedis appreciating for a one-week high, hitting the highest. The pound holds just below its 6-month high of 1.23. Todd Collins actually discusses this. I won't be talking about this, so let's hear from him.
The week hovering near 122.60 after trading in a 122 to 123 range today. In fact, today's range was the narrowest daily range we've seen since going back to Thanksgiving. Now, the pound has seen quite a rally here versus the dollar since early November. We've seen it rally from 112 up to 123, and now we backed off slightly to that 122.60 level. This is all while the Bank of England is going to be considering raising rates later this week. Likely not to be as aggressive as once thought, looking for a 50 basis point rate hike this week from the Bank of England, along with other rate hikes from the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve. But what the Bank of England is...
Well, that's what the pound is doing this morning, but don't take his word for it. Let's see what the pound is doing against the US dollar as at this morning, not just the pound, the euro. Looking at the euro USD market. Looking at the euro USD market, we see the euro exchanging at 1.05 this morning. It has appreciated from 1.23 that Todd Colvin just talked about. It's actually going at 0.04% this morning. Also, the pound is depreciating at 1.22, depreciating at 0.02%. Another currency is the Australian dollar appreciating, the New Zealand dollar appreciating against the dollar, the US dollar this morning. However, a couple of commodities are struggling against the US dollar. We see the Canadian dollar, the Chinese yen, and all other commodities. Generally, we see that in the cryptocurrency, in the forex market this morning, the US dollar is a little bit weak, not just against the pound, but generally in the forex market this morning. Now, talking about that, let's see how the US dollar is faring against the naira this morning in the markets, we can see an appreciation of 0%, 0 basis points. It was exchanging at 444 naira yesterday. It's still at 444 naira in the official market this morning. However, against the euro, the naira has depreciated, going for 468 naira as at this morning. Against the pounds, also at 543 naira. Yesterday it was at 540 naira against the pound this morning. Against Australian dollar, the naira is trying. Against other currencies, we see the naira trying to exchange better in the market. But against the majors, we see the naira practically just, you know, I would say it's strong, I would say it's weak. It's just trying to, you know, wake up from all of the policies that the CBN has been putting in place to try and strengthen the naira. So we are hopeful that before the end of the month, we would see the naira rebound completely in the market with all of the policies that Godwin Emefiele and his team are putting in place. Moving away from the digital market or the fiat market, let's see what's going on in the digital market. Talking about cryptocurrency in the market right now. We already talked about FTX filing for bankruptcy and other founders having issues in the market. But we can see from the market this morning, it's a bloodbath. It's completely red in the morning's market. Although Bitcoin is trying to appreciate, yesterday it was exchanging at 16,000 or thereabout, but it's appreciated this morning, exchanging at $17,186.88 this morning. That's a 15 basis points. But all other commodities in the cryptocurrency is depreciating in the markets. All other currencies are depreciating in the market. And I always say this. I said it at the beginning of the show, and someone would say she's always saying it. I always say it. My heart goes out to cryptocurrency investors at this time. Moving away from the currencies, let's see what's going on in the global stock market, starting with the Asian stock mostly advancing this morning. Asian equity market mostly rose today, tracking Wall Street's higher as Australian data, as well as rising COVID cases in China amid the country's ongoing shift for strict COVID rules. Shares in Australia, Japan, and Hong Kong advanced, while mainland China stocks fluctuated. Well, moving away from China quickly, let's see what's going on in the Nigerian stock market. We're already seeing a sluggish growth in the Nigerian stock market. The Nigerian capital market posted a sluggish growth in investment as the close of trading yesterday. That's a 0.03%, or let's say 10 billion naira rise in market capitalization from 20. All share index appreciated by 17.15 basis points to close at over 48,000. That's 48,899 basis points. Investors traded 236.58 million worth of shares at 2.51 billion naira. Learn Africa led the gainers. Royal Exchange topped the losers table after shedding 8 kobo to drop from 81 kobo to 73 kobo per share. Access Corporation led the day's trading with 120.97 million shares valued at 1.02 billion naira. Well, at this point, we have come to the end of Business 360 today. Join us again tomorrow for more information in the world of business. Stay tuned, however, Sports Central is up next. Many thanks for joining me. I am Edidiong.